Welcome back to Down the Track. We're live from Dubai and Canada, and today is a very, very special day. That's why I have a very special guest with me. Today, after 2.5, almost 3 years, Virat Kohli has finally scored a century. He scored 100. I thought he was going to score 100 in a 50 over game, but in a T20 match, this was supposed to be a dead rubber between India and Afghanistan, but it wasn't a dead rubber because we saw a Virat Kohli century. And I have with me Ashish, big fan of Virat Kohli. What's up, man? Finally, bro.
Yes, sir. After like 1,000 days wait, he finally scores, and it was amazing. Amazing to watch that innings.
1008, something like that, right?
1010 something, 1013, something like
Yeah. Oh my God, man! You're his biggest fan that I know personally, and you've been hearing stuff for the last 2.5, 3 years, but finally, no one's gonna say anything to you today.
that. I didn't
And
get any messages today, so that's a good sign.
yeah, but
Very
it was it's I think the thing is, like, we can easily say that, listen, the tournament is done, there was no point in whatever happens today, it doesn't matter. Bhuvneshwar takes 5 wickets, Kohli scores 100, doesn't matter. But the fact that the T20 World Cup is approaching and it's only less than a month away, this 100 does have context. It shows that he's in form now. He's playing those shots fluently, and he's not struggling anymore. Today's innings was class because the way he went, I think, from 30 to 100, it was like 70 of 20, 29 balls, 20, 28 or 29 balls, and he was timing the ball beautifully, and his strike rate was outstanding, very healthy. So in the context of the situation, maybe not the tournament, this was a very important innings.
And yeah, and whatever the opposition is, this is the opposition who was playing yesterday, and you know what they did yesterday
Yeah.
against Pakistan. They just lost the game in last two balls. That's it, the last
Yeah.
over. And
Yeah.
when now they are playing against India, and Kohli has been in form for this whole tournament. It's just one failure against Sri Lanka, and then that's it. And people started saying stuff again. He shouldn't do this and that. And now today, like when he played a blunder, like people are quiet. No one's talking about his average. No one talking about his strike rate now. It just
Today was way different. I saw his 250s against Pakistan and against Hong Kong, and today was way different. I think against Pakistan there's 1 6 that he hit, and it looked like, he saw him also. But today it was outstanding, and like you said, it was a really good bowling attack, and I think that's why even people from Pakistan were praising him today, whether it's ex players or current players. They were all praising him because they understood the quality of bowling that he was hitting, and he was doing it with ease. He hit Rashid Khan for a few sixes, whether
yeah.
it's Mujib or even the left arm fast bowlers, both of them, Fazal Haq and Farid, he hit both of them. So I think, like you said, the quality of the opposition was really good in these conditions, and it wasn't an easy pitch to bat on. And the important thing is, I think he took his time. It was the old Virat Kohli. It was check the situation, check the pitch, 10, 15 deliveries, and then go for it.
Yeah, and after I think Pakistan versus Hong Kong, this is the first team who won while batting first.
Batting first, yeah.
Otherwise, it's just chase, right?
Yeah.
And this shows like Indian team, they have a good setup. They have good players. It's just like the team selection we talked about in detail yesterday, and it's just the team selection they do. And when it comes to big tournaments, they just want to play everyone. They just want, oh, this guy is lefty, like he should be playing, and they just mess up the whole thing. Otherwise, quality wise, you see, like even for KL Rahul, he took time and then he
Mm.
started going. So I think when Kohli is on a break, he didn't touch the bat, right? And then now he's coming in this tournament. He played the first game against Pakistan, very
Yeah.
important knock. He was struggling, he was scratchy, but he didn't throw away the wicket. That's the importance of his wicket, right? He knew it. And the next game against Hong Kong, he played well. And then the games to follow, he was playing well. He was not throwing away the wicket, just the game against Sri Lanka. And once he got those 50s in the bag, he knew that he's back. He knew. And today he did the same pattern. First 15 balls, he just went in. And after that, we all know like all the shots he was playing like were just middle of the bat. He was hitting the middle and it was just going to the boundary. Fielders were like not existent.
Yeah, and also the difference was, initially when he was taking his time, he was pushing the singles and doubles easily. In the other games, he was trying to played the big shots and it was misconnecting. It was like edging, going to find leg, and he was getting a single. He looked rusty. It looked like he didn't pick up a bat for a month. But today he was in his zone. Outstanding shots, man. The way he got to his 100, but even before that, he played some nice cover tries straight down the ground as well. A few boundaries right, it went, it split the long on long off fielder. That was really good to watch as well. And yeah, I think overall it was an outstanding innings. It was a classic Kohli innings after a long, long time.
Fall of Babar Azam, rise of Virat Kohli.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it shows his class. Like, he's like, what,
Yeah.
he's 33, maybe 34 in November, and but it shows that like he's a different level player because look, there's no doubt he was in poor form. He was in very poor form. He wasn't getting it. He wasn't scoring the runs. But today it showed the way he was playing the shots. It wasn't just he scored 100. He could have got to 100 in 100 balls. Sachin got to his 100. It wasn't the greatest innings against Bangladesh in that Asia Cup. This one was a high quality innings. Like, it just shows that. And when Kohli scores runs, everyone, the whole world wants to watch him play. That's why it's the manner in which he gets the runs. It's not just 100, right? You can see other people get hundreds, but this 100 has a different effect on you. Even watching it live, just the shots, the placement and timing, everything is so good to watch. But yeah,
You also see the humbleness after he scored that 100, right?
we mentioned that.
This is not the old
Yeah.
Kohli who will get angry. If he's not getting 100, he'll get angry, frustrated, and
Yeah.
then swear. But this Kohli was smiling. He's all happy inside, and he's like,
Relief.
finally I did this. Because
He mentioned it.
form. He can like stack up those hundreds very quickly.
Yeah, he mentioned in the mid innings, he said that, listen, I'm 33, 34 now. That other side of me is like slowly going away. But yeah, you're right. Like, he was very calm about it. I think it was more relief than anything else. He was just so happy. He wasn't trying to prove a point to anybody. He also mentioned that, everyone has the right to give me advice and everything like that. If I'm not performing, everyone has the right. But they also have to understand, like, it's like it was a mental thing. It wasn't something like technical wise. I was doing the same thing as before, but this time it was more of a mental thing. He just went into a zone where he wasn't being able to get, and we saw that even me and you were watching a game together in the summer where he hit a couple sixes and then he just lost his concentration, and we kept saying that he was throwing his wicket away. We had to join the celebration. We have our co-host after a long time. He's back, baby. Then the only time you told me he's not going to score 100, he scores 100, bro.
Bro, I mean, that's what I was saying. No, pura reverse psychology kar raha tha main itne din se. Now, finally, it's done. I'm ready. Oh my God, so much happiness.
धोनी वेट करा रहा था हमें जैसे कोहली ने वेट करवाया.
My first question to you is it worth India getting knocked out of the Asia Cup to see a Virat Kohli 100?
Yes.
भाई एशिया कप आप रख लो, हम कोहली का सेंचुरी रख लेते हैं. There's a meme going on. I think I sent it to you both as well. So that's pretty much my mindset now. Obviously, if you would have asked me, like, if they would have won this would have been that winning kind of a game, because if they would have beaten Sri Lanka, it would have been sweeter, I guess. But because this is a dead rubber, it just has a. I think as I'm thinking about it a little bit more, I'm thinking that maybe it would have been sweeter if it was like a century to get you into the final or something of that sort. But irrespective of that, it's just nice to see Virat Kohli 100. That he hasn't ever scored a T20 100, so that's also kind of nice to see. And the kind of innings that he played today, some sublime shots. You can talk about Afghanistan being tired. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about, but it takes some level of skill to perform at that in that stature. The kind of shots he was hitting, the sublime nature.
That's what we were talking about.
Rash, Mujib, these guys have been bowling well this series. So to be able to kind of take them apart the way he did, and then the last 4 overs when the young fast bowlers came on, I think he was just brutal on them. So I'm extremely happy. I rewatched the whole Virat innings already. I intend to watch the whole game again, but I've already watched the Virat innings. I'm just extremely happy with the whole thing.
Repeat now till the next time Kohli comes to bat.
Luckily, you don't have to wait too long, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also the acceleration, Don, the last 60, 70 runs, the way he smashed those runs is particularly the last 30, 40, he raced to 100. And you're right about like everything, they're knocked out and everything. But I think the context is very important in the sense that there's a World Cup coming up. And I think that's why people were even happier that, this guy is going to go into the World Cup in form. And now my question to you and Ashish is, who opens the batting for India in the first game, October 23rd against Pakistan?
Ashish, you want to take that?
It'll be the same. Like it'll be same KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma going in. You don't want. So it's either way. You want your best two batsmen to play. That is Rohit and Kohli to open, play the maximum balls. But you don't want to expose both of them because that what happened in the last game in Sri Lanka when KL Rahul went out and Kohli was trying to hit. So it's either or. Like if they both play well, India's gonna score 180 plus easy, right? But if you have one guy coming after the other, so it gives solidity to the whole innings, as well as guys can play around Kohli. He can anchor them. So and Rohit and KL Rahul do what they do the best, right? Because Rahul is also back in form, so you can't drop him. And Rohit, apart from his
Ashish was willing to kick out Rahul until like 2 hours ago before the game. He's willing to
I
kick
want
Rahul
Prithvi
out
Shaw
of the
back,
game.
man. Prithvi Shaw will give us more good starts, or Sanju Samson for that. But
Yeah.
they don't want any more keepers in. So Rohit like played a blunder last inning against Sri Lanka. So I think these three are like fit, and you can chop and change around whatever the middle order.
And
Done.
then you already have Sky at 4, so that's
Yeah.
a pretty solid top 4. Uh, you you have to stick to your guns of finishers. You brought in DK with the intention of finishing, and then you drop him after the first game. Just doesn't make sense. Yes, that left hand right
You
hand
think you'll drop him
combination.
now after that over he bowled in the end?
I think that was just for fun. Like I know they wanted to like just try what they were like. There was no way for like, but two sixes and a couple of twos here and there. So I think it's safe to say that DK is not your that not your bowling option. He's not going to be that, and I think he will also take the wicket keeping gloves because I think if you play punt, Hardik at 5 and DK at 6, then you don't have place for punt. Unfortunately, I don't think punt should take this in a bad way. I think that he has been the T20 format has been his big four. Unfortunately, I think he's struggled with that format. I think in the one days and the Test cricket, especially, I think he's blossoming quite well. I think he has the opportunity. The likes of Virat, the likes of Rohit, these guys are going to be done in the next 1 or 2 years. They are older people. They will be done. Like Rohit is 36, Virat is 34. They don't have that much cricket left in him. Punt on the other hand is 24. So longer career. So I think just kind of be around this team and learn a little bit from them. And I think the opening slot would probably work for him nicely because he's the kind of swashbuckling guy that will get edges here and there. So if he can get past the inner ring, he might once he gets going, there's no stopping him. But he does have that kind of starting problem. So they might try him around in a few places, but I think overall you have Gordon DK with the intention of finishing the game. So he is your number 6 and Jaddu's your number 7. If Jaddu isn't available, you play Aksar. You have to play like for like. That's the only way you're going to get a balance. You try left hand, right hand, you forget the balance of the team. It's a little surprising. Someone like a Rohit Sharma, I expected more from him. These are the kind of mistakes we used to criticize Kohli on a lot. Could Kohli make these mistakes? A lot of criticism would happen of him. So I feel like similar criticism should go to Rohit. I think selection of team was a little bit
Rohit
off in
and
the past 2 games.
Rohit
What was-
Rohit
and
the team management, Rahul Dravid. You want me to say it? No, I know.
Well, you said Rohit, then he said team management. It took you like 15 seconds to get to the guy. I know. Soft corner, soft
Bro, I
corner.
have soft corner for Rahul
I
Dravid.
know. Abu Bakr saying, let's go, baby. The king is back. The king is back with a bang. Outstanding innings today, man, bro. You guys need to come and watch some games, bro. Like,
India's
Bro, can we? I was literally texting you every second at that time. I wanted you to
I
call
didn't
us
see
on
my
video
phone.
call. Yeah,
I
I'm
didn't
sure
see
you
my
did.
phone. I saw it after about the video call thing. I would have. It's just I was so glued to the innings, and in the beginning, honestly, in the morning, I wasn't going to go to the game. I thought let me rest 2 days and be ready for the final. But I'm like, I don't know. I just said it's the last India game. Let's go see what happens. And oh my god, it
Thank
was.
God you went. I think you would have been like depressed if you didn't end up going for this game.
Yeah, and this is the perfect way to end the tournament because like for us, like like for me, I have to cover it, so I need to go. But like there was, I think, a huge decrease in Indian fans today, and they'll all be probably regretting it. The people who had tickets and they sold it. I know a
Yep,
lot of
yep.
Indian fans sold their tickets or didn't come to the game because it's a dead rubber, and I don't blame them. But you missed out on a world class
A Virat
innings.
special. Yeah.
Abu Bakr saying, Don by Chelsea looking for sporting director. Ajao.
Man.
Uh,
Yeah. I will talk to him later about it. Okay.
Don will get Chamak and Sanogo and Frimpong with him as
Bro,
a
I
team.
already have Oba. I don't need them.
But sticking to the cricket, both of you guys, I just wanted to ask you. We mentioned team selection already, and it's been a problem for India over in the last World Cup. It's been a problem in the Asia Cup. I mentioned the fast bowling thing from before, and today Deepak Chahar somehow played. He's supposed to be backup. He's not supposed to be in the squad,
But
but it's a
Avesh got injured. No, Avesh got injured. So
yeah.
he was
I'm sure he got
replacement for
injured,
Avesh.
bro.
He got
I'm sure
injured
he
much
got.
fewer this
I'm
time,
sure
right?
he got
He
No,
injured.
got
but there
injured.
was no BCCI announced it. Not it's not
Yeah,
like a random
okay.
thing.
Chahar was supposed to play against Sri Lanka or
Deepak Chahar
Pakistan.
was brought in to play to see, like, to get some match fitness ahead of that T20 World Cup and the Australia series and everything. Um, Bangla, the batting Afghanistan is not such a team. No doubt, Afghanistan gifted such a win to India. Uh,
There will be a section of people that will always think like that,
so
but
with
it
India,
is what
that's
it
it.
is, right? Yeah.
With India, that's what it is. Like if you win, it's it's fixed, or like the other team didn't show up, and if they lose, they messed up. But you have to give the due. They played bad cricket for 2 games, and they played good cricket for 2 games. So you have to assess it like that. But yeah, team selection. Do you guys want to see someone like a Shami coming back, Deepak Chahar, see more emphasis on fast bowling and experienced bowlers as well?
Ashish and me were talking at length about it yesterday. We both agree on a lot of things. Unfortunately, I think Shami. I think both of us want him. I think everyone in the Indian camp really. I mean, everyone who kind of watches it from the outside really wants Shami back because I think Shami gives you that kind of experience and that kind of pace that we've seen him, and he's a brutal bowler when he gets going. But I think the BCCI has moved away from him. Unfortunately, whatever the reason behind it is, they have moved away from him. But I still think, like that there is a lot of confusion in the bowling attack right now. Like Bumrah is injured. Yes, Shami. When Bumrah is injured, Shami is your bowler. You have him as at least as a backup there. Yes, I think they went with Bhuvi, and Bhuvi was unfortunately didn't have a couple of good games. He came back well today, but today again you can't really like the Virat Kohli innings as well. The shine of that innings is unfortunately out because it's a dead rubber. Similarly, a 5-4 for Bhuvi is something that is good for his own confidence and his rhythm and everything. But I think the shine of it is gone because everyone's going to think about that 19th over against Sri Lanka, where he gave 19 runs. So these things will happen, but I think whoever they decide to go with, I think they have to kind of get that balance right. Now in Australia, they need three fast bowlers. They can't stick to two. They can't only have Bhuvi and Arshdeep. So will have to see how they bring in and Deepak Chahar. Is he ready? Is he going to be your Bhuvi replacement, or are you thinking Harshal Patel is also kind of rumored to be back now with his injury? So there are
Bumrah
these
will come back
options.
as a third seamer.
As Sorry.
Bumrah will come back as a third seamer with Bhuvneshwar and Arshdeep.
Right, and then Harshal is a good option as well, right? So Harshal is then that brings Deepak down to your reserves, and then someone has
Yeah.
to fall sick to for him to come
Yeah.
back in again. So whatever it is, whoever they go with, I think that it's very important to kind of get that balance right. At the end of the day, you need Gabba. You're going to play the big warm up matches in Gabba. Give these guys a go. Don't rest people now. Rest them in this next series that they're doing. I think they're playing someone in the middle. I can't remember who, but
Australia and South
uh,
Africa.
yeah, so rest them there if needed, but bring them back for the big tournament because it's high time India wins a big tournament now. 2011 was the last time well, like if you count the Asia Cup 2017, it's the last time we really won it. And for a team that is as stacked
Champions
and
Trophy
as
as well.
loaded, sorry,
Champions Trophy we won after
2017, right?
2013.
2013.
No, and
धोनी
I
का तुम
like
ट्रॉफी याद नहीं रख रहे, तुम अपना लगे हुए हो, हमें जीतना है।
नहीं
धोनी
नहीं
का trophy है।
2017 भी था ना, एशिया कप ऑल्सो दैट विनिश कप
18,
एक
कौन खेल रहा है वहाँ?
yeah.
रोहित शर्मा था, वो कुछ और था। अब कुछ और है।
18.
No, but हाँ 18. So what I'm saying is like it's high time India wins a big tournament because India is expected to win one or two big tournaments like every 2-3 years. So and you can say COVID and everything, but like the Indian cricket team needs to win. Like that is what they have all the resources, they have everything going for them. They can't afford to keep losing. This World Cup, they have a World Cup coming on 50 overs in the next year because after that a transition will happen, and I think that's when India will struggle a little bit again because the likes of Rohit, Virat, maybe Ashwin and Bhuvi, these guys are all going to go away. I don't think they're going to play another World Cup. So this is like a last chance for almost 5 or 6 of these players. We talk about KL, we talk not KL, sorry, we talk about Rohit, we talk about Virat, we talk about Ashwin, BK. Bhuvi, these are 5 players. Virat, I don't think Virat's playing another World Cup after 2023, boss. Because 35 ho jayega.
He'll play till 37, 38, bro. Look at him, bro. He's running like crazy.
He's
No one can
he's
match him.
fit. He's fit. But I just feel I have a feeling that Virat will retire
It'll be
after the
his
World Cup.
last T20 World Cup for sure, I think, because he'll be what 36, 37. I think he might drop a
24
format.
में भी है ना, 24 में है ना West
Oh,
Indies
so
में.
then maybe he'll play, but where is it?
West Indies and Australia and America, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, it depends. I mean, it's still far away for that, but I think he'll drop a format after this.
I have a strong feeling he's going to retire after the 2023 World Cup from all formats.
All formats. I don't
I
know.
have a feeling 35 ka ho jayega. At least, or he might just have like one format. He might just play
Yeah,
Test cricket or something.
he will drop a format. But Ashish, I wanted to ask you this question: is that this with India, they have a problem with all rounders, right? Like, so Jadeja was outstanding in that game against Pakistan, both with bat and ball, and he's been outstanding over the last few years. He got injured. You had Axar Patel there, you didn't play him. They just got confused, right? So now my question is that for something happens to Hardik Pandya in the World Cup, don't you need to keep somebody like Shardul Thakur or Deepak Chowdhury or Venkatesh Iyer, someone who can bowl and bat? Just it doesn't matter if they're not that quality, but keep them there just to have a like for like replacement, like you did with Axar Patel, but you didn't play him, which was a mistake I felt. But your thoughts on that? Because if Hardik Pandya gets injured, you have to have a plan B.
But if you see, like Hardik Pandya only played like 2 or 3 games. He was rested after the Pakistan game, and he played after like one whole week, right?
Yeah.
So there's a plan in place that if Hardik is going to perform like that, they have to preserve him, because you always have doubts with Hardik. You never know at what delivery he's going to break out, or like while playing, or he's going to pull up a hamstring, because his body is not helping him that much over the years right now, right? And coming on to the point of like having backups, so you can't keep a backup for a guy like Hardik Pandya, as well as like if a guy like Ben Stokes is out, you can't keep a backup for that, right? The quality will be dropped. You will prefer like bringing a solid pure batsman and bringing another bowler, like a forced change. You have to do it, unless you give a guy like Huda, who's I've been talking about that. If he's playing at number 7, why he's not bowling? You have to give him the option. And today he bowled the first ball, he gets a wicket. Like, if KL Rahul knows his resources, Rohit Sharma being so experienced from IPL victories to everything, he should also know that Huda bowls in power play as well. And he can bat up and down. He can be a floater when the wickets are down. You don't need to send Hardik Pandya out so early. Just send Huda. He'll play his shots. Because in the last 2-3 games we have seen, like, we kept DK for the first game, and then we were crying about, oh, why he's there to finish and all that. You were backing that up. But when the moment came, like Kohli set the stage up, there was no finisher. You took DK out just because you wanted Pant. You could have easily gone for Akshar Patel.
But that I blame Pant and Hardik Pandya also. That was set up for them. The Sri Lanka game, it was set up beautifully for Hardik.
That's the thing. Like, 2 good balls from Sri Lanka, and you're exposed because you have had a plan before going into the tournament that DK is going to finish us the games. Now Kohli set it up that day. Next day, Rohit Sharma set it up. You didn't have DK there. You played the other guys going for power, going for attack, and when you go for attack, it's gonna like fire you back at times, right? And
Yeah.
every tournament, like last World Cup, we played 2 bad games, we were out. We thrashed Afghanistan at that time too, right?
Yeah.
And this tournament as well, we played 2 bad games in the group stage, Pakistan,
Yeah.
Sri Lanka, and we were out.
Yeah. And 2019 also played 2 bad games, one against England, one in the semi-final against New Zealand. But Don, that's my question. So I don't think that this team selection and everything, it's all hindsight for me now, because I feel that you talk about Dinesh Karthik, he was there in the 2019, they lost that game. I'm just giving you examples where
But
you've
he was a number
tried to.
4, not a finisher.
I know. I'm not saying that Dinesh Karthik, he wouldn't have made a difference. He might have. But the thing is, whoever has been given the opportunity is not grasping it. Hardik Pandya is a high quality player. You expect him to finish a game like that against Sri Lanka. Rishabh Pant is a high quality player. So the people who are giving the responsibility are not taking the responsibility. So for me, more than team selection, it's a mental thing, mindset. They're not positive enough, and they're not playing with the certain level of confidence you need in a knockout game or a big game.
See, I completely agree. I think it's not easy to have that. There are only very few players in this world that are mentality monsters. These things get to players. It's irrespective of the kind of rest you get and everything. I think this cricket has evolved in such a way that I think the Indian cricket needs to understand, the BCCI or the management, the team, everyone needs to understand the pressure on these players as well. सबकी फटी पड़ी है, like everyone knows के agar, like if they don't play for a few games, they
Yeah.
are going to be dropped. Someone like a KL, you can see that pressure in his for franchise cricket, it's different. Like, all these guys are captains of their teams. The top 6, everyone is captain of their team, or a very important player in their team. So it makes it's a different ball game over there. Someone like a Rohit Sharma will always, because he has a good team around him, he'll always look good. But in this, everyone is like, it's like chalk and cheese, irrespective of however good you are. If you're not going to be performing consistently, your place is in line. So whenever you see, India will perform well when the pressure is not on them. Like, for example, today's game, played very well, everyone played well, bowled well, batted well, everything happened well. But when the pressure is on, everyone is thinking. Very few players, like maybe a Virat Kohli in this team, who is like a mentality monster. It doesn't phase him, these kind of big situations. So you have to be cognizant of that, and understand that, and help them get through it. Like, and that is where I think a captain and a coach plays very, very important role. And I think that there is a want for Rohit to step his game up. The camera is on him at all times. When he does something like that for Arshdeep, I don't blame him. It's not that easy, but you have to be a little bit cognizant of that. Rahul Dravid has to sit down in the thing, and and make them understand that that is, you guys are going to be selected in the next game as well, or whatever. It's not easy. Like, for you and me to talk from the outside and the hindsight is very easy, but it's not that easy. The mentality of these players is they will struggle in big games because there's so much pressure on them.
Yeah, the fact a lot of people used to say that Virat Kohli doesn't have the temperament of being a captain. He loses his stuff, loses his cool and everything. But we saw that with Rohit as well at times, and it's the
And it's a pressure.
it's the pressure
Absolutely.
of the Indian captaincy, I feel, and you
when
saw some.
when when Virat did it, everyone was criticizing him. Like, you and me would always have this conversation too. Like, we hamla kitta bole Virat should not be captain, this that. So same thing if Rohit is doing now. We have to be consistent with our analysis as well, right? So when Rohit is doing this, I will give Rohit a little bit of a longer rope. I think that till 2023 World Cup, Rohit has the captaincy, in my opinion. Because after that, age also becomes a factor. There's a lot of things, and the problem is he's not fit enough. We talk about Hardik Pandya being kept in cotton wool and stuff like that. Rohit is the same way. I think Rohit also needs to be kept in that. I think the only person you can like let loose is Virat, because he's so fit. He's just so fit. And there are so many players. Like, Jaddu also, he's now, in the past 1 or 2 years, he's been getting injuries after injury. He's no youngster as well. So there's going to be, Jaddu is going to be one of the other players. I think after 2023 World Cup, we won't see much of him. So, the transition phase after the 23 World Cup is going to be huge. So it's their last chance. 2 big World Cups, go all out, and then hopefully they can win both. I'm this is my hope, obviously, but we don't know that. But yeah, I think that's the thing. You have to be cognizant of all of that. It's very important.
Yeah,
I think I'm
100%.
just a lot of thoughts in my head right now.
I feel we saw a shadow of Pant in this whole tournament, and it's the reason.
Where was she? She was in the stands, bro. She was
Controversial statement right there.
in the
The
stands.
actual reason is when he came into this tournament, he got a shock that DK is being preferred over him, because for him he's the number one keeper in India, right? And he won you games like single-handedly. So when you go in a big tournament just like Asia Cup, right, multi nation tournament, and he expected that he's going to be the one who will play every game. But when they changed to DK and like the plan flopped and they changed back to him, he was playing more conservative
Aggressive.
because he wants
Yeah, that's a
to
good
be
point.
in the team, and by doing that he was not hitting his natural shots. And when is the last time we see a punt hitting a shot to a spinner and getting caught on the boundary? Once he hits a shot, it's supposed to go out. Just like today, he was free to play and he scored today.
Yeah.
So that's also a management issue, that you don't prepare your players properly, that you might not like play for this game or that game, and suddenly you say, oh, come back, because then at that time a guy like KL Rahul also wants to be in the team for the World Cup because it's 1 month away, and guy like Pant, he doesn't want to lose his place in the 11 just to DK. So this is all conversation should be happening in the team management, and they should be talking to the players one by one. But I don't know what's going on with there, like, so, and it's hampering the confidence of the players. And then we see like a punt coming out and going easily, so it doesn't make sense.
I think the decision to get in punt for DK has been the most shocking decision of the tournament for me. I think especially because
That was
DK
because
has
of
been
the
touted as your irrespective loud left hand right hand combination ka baat hai. I understand completely.
and I'll
Totally
tell you
understand.
why. I'll tell you why. Because the Jadeja thing was a master stroke in the first game, right?
Yeah.
When he came at number 4.
And then they
And
thought about it like
that's
that.
where they said no, left-hander khilana hai, khilana hai. That's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they got that thing. Ashish is 100% right. I'm not saying that, but I'm just telling you why they went like that.
Right.
And then in that game, what happened was that he wasn't on that level of the Jadeja's level. It didn't work out. But what happened in that game? Another left-hander Nawaz came and he did what Jadeja did. So the tactic is working, but the personnel you use, you have to be a bit.
No, but you see the quality of Pant is better than Jadeja and coming and hitting the spinners. I'm talking about the quality. Even in the first game, I was with Pant. I'm like, if you want a number 4 to be a left-hander and there are spinners coming in, who's your best bet? It's Pant. You don't need DK over there then, right? If he comes at number 4, you have number 4 lefty, and then comes Jadeja at the last, right? And then he can come and hit his game. And if he knows he's playing the first game of the like a big tournament against Pakistan, he's gonna come and show that, yo, I'm here to boss around, right? It may not work, but it's just now it's a maybe, right? It may not work, but for his confidence, knowing that he's number 1, and it's solving your problem of a left-hander at number 4 on the middle order, whatever, to a spinner. I don't know why you like give importance to Jaddu, because Pant has like superior powers than Jaddu. Jaddu is amazing all rounder, but he's a bowling all rounder, or you can say now he's turning into a batting all rounder. But Pant has been consistent to like hitting spinners easily. 106 I've seen like him hitting very easily. He just takes the spinners out.
But
But
I
the
think they have more confidence in Jadeja. It's just like because of
As an overall player, because of his
yeah.
ability to bowl and field and stuff as
But
well, right?
even yeah, I think
That's
because
right.
also
When Jaddu got injured in the next game, you wanted a left-hander, but Akshar Patel was a replacement.
Yeah,
But you don't trust
absolutely.
Akshar
That is
Patel. You want Pant back and
they should have
DK
gone
out.
Akshar
Your
Patel.
finisher is out and your power hitter is in.
They should have gone
That's
Akshar
not the
Patel.
balance you're looking for.
I think they would definitely. I honestly think they should have definitely gone Akshar Patel. Yes, Akshar Patel is not at the level of Jaddu, but he's still a 70% of a like for like is better than a complete changeover and losing your finisher and so on. It's too much that went wrong. I feel like they went in that right hand left hand combination ke chakkar mein they lost their finisher. They lost the balance of the team. Today the balance was a lot better. They had their left hander. They had Akshar who bowled pretty decently. I mean, he didn't have to because first six
Also,
wickets
you
went in
have
the power play.
someone from the top 3 to finish the innings. So when that happens for India, they win games like
They win
99%
games.
of the games.
Yeah.
When you have somebody batting till the end, normally they win. And what was happening, and even in the second Pakistan game, Virat Kohli was there till the end, but he was losing wickets at the other end, so he slowed down as well. So that's what happened in that game. I think they're 15 runs short in each game. They could have easily got those 15 runs if a certain if a Pant or Hardik Pandya contributed 20-30 runs, they would have.
They just needed about 8-10 more runs for honestly for the Sri Lanka game to win.
But for me, that's the thing, right? You're going to have differences in selection and everything, but the players who are selected, they have to take a bit more responsibility, play with more freedom, and enjoy their game. But at the same time, they know they have the talent. Go for it. If you get dropped, you get dropped, whatever. But you go and you play attacking cricket. You see Pakistan. They were close to losing 2 or 3 games in this tournament already, but they're just going for it. It's not like they're playing way crazier cricket than India. They almost lost to Afghanistan. They couldn't chase 130, but they won that game, right? They handled the pressure. That's what it is in those games.
Pakistan is the most exciting cricket team in the world because of their bipolar nature. They'll go and beat India quite well, and then they struggle against Afghanistan. There's a lot of conditions behind that and everything, but it was just a fun game to kind of watch. I wasn't able to watch the game live, but I watched the highlights, and I really wish I watched the live game, because you would have seen so many of these nuances that you miss out in the highlights game. So it's just Pakistan can never be a comparison to any other team, because they are their own in their own kind of I don't know what it's called, but the comparison for Pakistan is very difficult.
Yeah, Shivam is asking where you guys from. I'm Canadian, Don's American, and Ashish is straight out of Punjab.
But also in Canadian.
we're all Indian. Ashish from Punjab.
Yeah.
I'm from Hyderabad and Don's from Chennai. So
Ashish went to Tim Hortons, Delhi, and took direct flight to Punjab, to Canada, Punjab.
So my question is, so we were saying like spinners come on in the first game, and we want a left-hander there, right? Today, best spinning team, Mujib, Rashid, and who scored the most runs? Right-hander. Virat Kohli and KL Rahul. They were smashing them. So it's not about left or right. I'm agreeing with you that the players who's there, they have to play, right? And they have to be on top of their game. It doesn't matter if you're right-hander or left-hander. If you're right-hander, you have to have all the shots, just like Surya Kumar has all the shots to play. Similar to that, if a lefty is there, you'll say, oh, they have off spinner. That's easy to take out. But we see lefties like hitting off spinners as well.
So the thing there is the reason why they calculated is because Rashid Mujib brings the ball in as well, right? Rashid has googly as well. So that's why whereas both the Pakistani bowlers take the ball away. So that was the reasoning behind it. And the same thing Pakistan did that as well when they sent in Nawaz. So I know where you're coming from. Like the right-hander.
Who's easier to hit, Rashid Khan or Nawaz? Like, tell me. Rashid Khan quality, like no one can hit Rashid Khan.
But the thing there as well is that Rashid Khan also is somebody who won't turn it as much. So when you do go after him, you don't really take that risk of going against the spin, because he does bowl the googly as well, and his leg spinner doesn't turn too much. So that's something that they look at. And Rashid Khan is also somebody that they don't look to attack because the thing is he has a really good googly, so he can also outfox a left-hander. So that tactic doesn't really work with somebody like a Rashid Khan. Either you hit him as a righty or you get out also as a lefty, because he's somebody who can bowl different deliveries at different times. It comes into the reason why I'm just explaining to you why they do it. It comes because every ball is turning away from the right-hander of Nawaz and of Shadab. That's the only reason why they went with it, and it worked in the first game. The Jadeja, it worked. That's why they went with it. I agree with you that you shouldn't look at that, but I always feel it's always good to have a left-hander there, because what happens is, I've noticed it in this tournament, bowlers start bowling wides. They lose the line a bit. You get that free flick to find left for 4. You get that outside edge because they bowl it too wide. So I feel more than attacking the leg spinner, I think it plays with the bowlers' lines and lengths. Yes, it didn't work out this time for India, but that's why people generally do that. With Pakistan as well, if you noticed yesterday, Afghanistan bowled 1 or 2 bad balls, because when Khushdil came in, he was batting with Shadab. They bowled on his legs, and he just flicked it like that. So that's why they have that left-right combination. That's the reason behind it. Because if you have only right-handers, then the teams can try to outfox you in that way.
I agree. Left-right is very important, but not to the point where you completely ruin the balance of your side. That's the only thing.
100%.
I have a question for you guys if there's no comments right now, Musti.
There's one comment, but yeah, you can go.
uh, so 960 something days back, we spoke about the last time Virat Kohli scored a century, right? And we never really thought that it would take us 960 days to see another one. At that time,
Thousand,
we
bro,
were all
1,000 days.
1,000
no.
days.
I think it's 960 something.
No,
No.
1,010 or 1,020, something like that. It's 1,000 days.
Okay, never mind. Sorry. So 1,000 days round figure pakad lenge. But
Yeah.
at that time, we never really thought that this would be the case. When he scored his last century, it was beautiful to see it. I want you guys to pick out one shot that you thought was sublime,
The
because
one eight for
Ashi,
the one eight
huh?
for 100. That's it.
I
One
love
eight
it.
get over the mark. That's for me is done.
There
Okay,
was two
Musti.
good
I was praying. I was praying. Please take double or single.
Ashish, me and you were texting on the side, and I was like,
No.
if I jinxed him, I genuinely thought I would actually be depressed. I think at that point in time, because at
Yeah.
89, I said, Musti, call me. I want to see him celebrate,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Oh,
oh my god, what
that
a
was
wrong
cool.
time.
Yeah, I saw that message way past his like
Yeah,
after the
yeah, of
innings, the
course, I
second
can
innings.
imagine.
But for me, it was I don't know if you call that a sweep shot or a paddle shot, but he doesn't play that shot, whatever it was. He played it to Mujib, square leg like this. I was shocked. I was like,
He
this
went,
guy is.
yeah,
Yeah, it was a sweep, right? It was a sweep shot kind
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
ball.
Kind of went down on his, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he on his knee and he out to square leg. So Virat Kohli doesn't play that shot, and to play that, it showed that he had the confidence, and it shows that he's still willing to develop as a batsman and learn, because he's not played that shot in 20, like 10 years, 15 years consistently. He doesn't play the sweep shot, and today he played it and he scored 100. So but to watch, like, beautiful was the 100, and there was one he hit straight down the ground and one covers his trademark cover.
Covers a trademark shot, but yeah, like for me also, I think Ashish's shot, he hit that ball and it went for six, and I was like, oh, like I genuinely felt goosebumps. Like I was like, "Arey, kuch bhi ho raha bolke," like it was literally that much for me. So that's when I realized how much I wanted him to score that century. So it was nice,
Yeah.
just nice to see that.
No, it was beautiful. He was hitting it fine leg, he was hitting square leg, mid wicket, and then covers, and he got it all perfect today. It was an outstanding innings, and hopefully we get to see more of that in Australia as well in the World Cup.
Let's go,
Uh,
boy. Now he's in
But
form, boss. Abhi
only
runs
nice
aayenge.
Babar, this shall too pass. I'm waiting for that.
with the if Babar
Babar.
gets
Babar's forming game is like take it.
Abhi next. Before in the warm-ups of the Australian game, Virat is going to be like, "We are with you, boy. We are with you. Don't worry."
this too shall
The
pass.
tight, yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, I went to the washroom, bro. I came back. Babar was walking to the pavilion, so it's because.
Bichara.
But yeah, he still has two more games. They have a dress rehearsal against Sri Lanka in the final.
Yeah.
Who do you guys think are going to win? Who's going to win the final Asia Cup final?
Ooh, that's such a hard one.
I think Sri
Um,
Lanka.
I think Sri Lanka has grown into this tournament quite a bit. I think that they've figured out they figured their mojo out. The pitches are now starting to help them. But I can't really write this Pakistan side off. If you see a Pakistan side that kind of played against India, if they show up, that's it. It's done.
Yeah.
I
It's
think they
how they
might.
handle the Pacers. I think if Naseem
Yeah.
Shah, Haris Rauf, and Hasnain Dahani, if these guys get hit a bit, then I think Sri Lanka have a chance. But it's difficult to get these guys away, because even against Afghanistan, yeah, they hit a few shots in the beginning, but they struggled against the Pacers.
It's a good idea to maybe bring in an extra spinner for them instead of maybe Hasnain or Dahani, because the pitches are really slowing down now, and that just gives you that extra little option. Because
Abdul Qadir's son, what's his name? Usman Khadir is an option.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
an option, because I just feel like with Naseem and Haris Rauf, I think you're covered with those 8 overs that you need, like a couple overs in the beginning and a couple overs in the end, and the middle overs I think you can really use your spinners a lot more. And Shadab and Nawaz have been very good for Pakistan, so I think maybe just try an extra spinner, bring in those 3-4 overs. I think it might help.
No, I feel Sri Lanka has a better chance of winning this because after the
Because you want them to win.
I
Fair
can't
enough.
say Pakistan. I'm sorry, but still talking about cricket. After the first game, the humiliation they had, like
Yeah.
they got like nailed out of like what they were doing. Like they had no clue. But
Yeah.
after that, they bounced back in the Bangladesh game. Then they defeated India. Like the way they were playing the cricket is fearless cricket. That's what we have seen from India, from like all the big teams, like England. They were playing fearless. The shots they were playing, they were using the power play. And even when the spinners come on, they are not afraid to go over the wicket or like just try to hit them up. So Sri Lanka, when they are fearless, becomes very dangerous. So if you bring in a spinner like a guy like Rajapaksa is waiting and I'm coming at number three or number three down, number five,
Yeah, 5.
right? And that guy has extra power. He can hit sixes at any ball, right?
Yeah.
Even with the Pacers, the first ball I've seen him hit sixes. He has a gift, like he's great with the hand-eye coordination and with power. So Sri
Sehwag.
Lanka, when they are fearless, they can. If Pakistan bowling is inexperienced right now, if one of them or two of them start getting hit, the others will go back on a defensive plan to just restrict the score rather than taking the wickets. We have seen this from Pakistan. They want to restrict the score. Once they are up, like they want to take wickets, we see what they did to Hong Kong. So that's the thing. So it's either or, but once Sri Lanka starts playing and put the Pakistani bowler under pressure, you never know. They will chase it down or like they will give them a big total. Like we'll see a 200 plus runs then because Pakistan has an experience over there.
Toss will be important. Toss will be important, and how they play. The thing the Pakistani bowlers have, they have that extra pace, so it's not easy to get them away. But if you do, if it's a good wicket to bat on, and you do put pressure on them, then they can succumb because Ashish said they are inexperienced. But that extra pace does bother teams, and that's where I think they have that advantage going into the.
I feel if the pitch is like a good deck to bat on, no one is scared these days to against a fast bowler. 150, they love the ball coming onto the bat. No one is scared. So the guys like Shanaka and Mendes, they want the ball to come on the bat. They just use the pace easily. Even a guy like Rajapaksa, like he won't generate that much power. He'll just use the pace. But that's also a point. Pakistan has quality fast bowling since like forever. Like they have like amazing fast bowlers who can do anything on the day, right? Yesterday also, when Afghanistan went off to a blinder, like Haris Rauf like took those wickets and brought Pakistan back to the game. So it's going to be a very good contest, but I think it will be batting of Sri Lanka versus bowling of Pakistan
Yeah.
because batting of Pakistan I don't trust after the last game they played against Afghanistan. Simple as that.
But we were talking about middle order being a little bit of a problem for Pakistan. But I think the likes of Khushdil Shadab and Asif Ali have done enough to say that "Acha, theek hai, we are here for a reason." The problem has been Babar not scoring runs up front for them. I think
Bobby.
they've become very used to it. Yeah,
Bobby is not scoring runs. But then, you had Rizwan to cover, but then
Rizwan
Rizwan
is
got
covering
out
well.
after like
Yeah.
20, 30. Yesterday, the middle order, they collapsed, but Shadab's innings was crucial. I think
No,
that was.
either one. Like Asif Ali, he struggled a little bit.
But he hit a six
Also,
there as
he
well.
hit a six. Like in Shadab coming, Khushdil hit that very important six. You have these important
Oh,
players.
that game took me back to the 90s. I'm telling you, and it was
Bro,
just.
the videos you
It just
sent, I wish we could publicly share some of that stuff that you sent because it's scary, boss.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes, like there was unfortunate scenes also after the game, but the actual game itself, it was world class atmosphere, world class. I would take it over El Clasico or anything like that. I don't know, I just really enjoyed that. This rivalry is outstanding. The game, when this is what you want. You don't know who's going to win till the last ball. That's exactly what you wanted, and it was an
But
outstanding
bro,
game.
who would
You
have
saw
thought?
Chami Inda did a six in
Who,
Sharjah, and now this guy.
who would have thought that Naseem Shah at number 11 comes in and scores two sixes of Fazal Haq, who's been bowling well. It wasn't
Yeah.
like he was bowling poorly. He had a bad day or anything.
His
But
fixer,
have the habit getting
his
hit in
fixer
sixes.
Wasim Akram knew it.
Wasim Akram was getting a bit triggered on Star Sports because they kept talking about India when there's a Pakistan-Afghanistan game on, and it said I don't know if you guys saw. So I was watching it live, right? So it was written on the ticker. It said Afghanistan must beat Pakistan. They forgot to add for India to qualify, so it just said that. So he's like, "What the hell? I'm sitting here. Why are you writing stuff like that?" But these things happen. I'll just quickly take comments. Shivam Singh, talk about Dasun Shanaka. He's someone who finishes the innings with a whopping strike rate of 180 plus every time. I think Shanaka, outstanding batting, but he's finishing with the ball as well. He's picking
Ball
up
as
wickets. Very good
He's been
mixing it up.
fantastic for Sri Lanka.
Yeah, and his captaincy has been outstanding.
Captaincy has been exactly
Yeah,
phenomenal. Coming in at number 6, he's the Hardik Pandya of the Sri Lankan team, and he's doing a fantastic job at it.
Yes, so who was the better all-rounder in this tournament, bro?
In this tournament, I think because now Dasun is in the finals. No, He's in the finals now. What are you gonna do?
That guy is not even the best all-rounder in the world in India, man. Forget about the world, man. Just forget about it right now.
I think Musti.
Jadeja is the best all-rounder in India. Ravindra Jadeja.
I think Ashish and me, we don't agree on a lot of things, Ashish and me, but I think this one we are very strong on against you, Musti.
No, also, just very quickly, he said Pakistani swing bowler said Virat Kohli will lose his charm. He'll never come back because he's a bottom-handed player. It's just his fitness which is helping him to sustain. Also, Gavaskar said something like this. There's a few Indian people also said it, to be fair. And listen, when you're not scoring 100 for 3 years, you're going to get criticism. So you just have to take it on the chin. There's
And
nothing.
it's fair, like you are allowed to get that kind of criticism.
No matter how Ashish gets, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get criticized, bro. And now he can celebrate as much as he wants, right?
Where
Like,
is Gavaskar, man? Talk to me. Mr. Gavaskar, he scored 150 balls. Who does that?
And
What is 200 strike rate. You can't even brag about his strike rate now.
People were worried it might not come, but it came, right? So he's a world-class player, but when a world-class player doesn't score for 2.5 years, you're going to question him. It's simple as that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Closer to 3
Ashish
years.
is already questioning Babar. He hasn't performed in 2 games.
Ashish very clearly showing loyalty.
Double-digit score, not even 100. Where's the double-digit score?
Best in all formats in the last year or so, and he's been questioned already on the show. So, like, it happens in cricket. Someone or the other will question you. You have to be willing to take criticism, and I think Virat Kohli's taken it. He's understood it. He's accepted it. He's like, people have to.
But I told you, Babar also scored 100 after like 2 years. Remember the last time he scored 100.
It wasn't that long of a break.
It was not 2 years, Ashish.
No, I had that day as well.
But that's what I'm saying. That's my point.
I remember he scored in June 2019. Then he scored in 2021. Check it out.
But so you have to take the COVID factor as well and everything.
Kohli का COVID factor नहीं हुआ. तुम 3 साल हो गए.
But India was playing cricket consistently. India का खाली 2 या 3 महीने का gap था. IPL भी बात करते हैं ना.
He said I'm mentally done. Like COVID करके I'm done.
No, that's not the thing. 2021, right? He scored 100. This guy has been 2022 now. End of 2022. So that's why. Yeah. So it took an extra year, right?
Bro, 29 left.
29
left. In next 4 years he play 29 भी हो जाएगा. तू पागल हो जाएगा. कुछ हो जाएगा.
विराट कोहली बैटिंग करता फिर सब छोड़ना पड़ता है. It's outstanding, man. The way he batted today, it was really good to watch. But yeah, final thoughts. Anything you guys wanted to add?
No, it's been
amazing. Who's winning, Musti?
Huh?
Who's winning?
Asia Cup.
Yeah.
Whoever wins the toss.
Fair enough.
But let's say I don't know. I want it to be a super over, something like that, a close game. And for Sri Lankan cricket, they've gone through a lot, but so has Pakistan cricket. I think for either team, whoever wins, it'll really help the country and boost them going into that T20 World Cup. We talk about Sri Lanka going through problems with Pakistan. Have also gone through their own problems. There's been water shortage there as well. So whoever wins, it'll be great for the country. Both passionate sets of fans. I just want to see a close game that we've seen. It's been a very good tournament. Although the toss has decided games in terms of result chasing and stuff, but it's not really decided the game in that sense. It's not dictated terms of play. You still the batting, the defending team has always had a chance till the last ball to defend the total. But yeah, Ashish, any last thoughts?
No, it's been a good tournament. Like, we have seen good cricket, but not the results we expected. Because you always want, when India is playing, they have to get to a final, right? Because it's important to get this trophy in the bag and then move on to the bigger challenges.
Agreed. It's not acceptable for this Indian team. They should be in the final 100%.
Everyone is having
Star Sports ka. Sorry, Ashish, don't mean to cut you off, but the Star Sports ka ad that they put, दुनिया पे कायम करने के पहले एशिया पे कायम, or something like that. I don't know if you guys have seen that video or something. I saw it on Twitter the other day, and then there was some meme about it being like, पहले एशिया ही नहीं कायम हुआ तो अभी दुनिया भी नहीं होगा, or something like that.
No, when you make a Mumbai Indian guy captain, दुनिया शुरू होता है. दुनिया हिला देंगे, दुनिया ही कर देंगे. Like, please tell them you can't buy everyone, man. Come on. You can buy IPL trophies. You can't buy everyone.
But I think the thing is,
हमारे को किसी आज और देखो जो जिसने हिलाई है दुनिया वो अंदर खड़ा था 100 मारा उसने.
Musti, I think good time to close. अपन ना offline बात करना जरूरी है.
Offline वाले भी हो रहा है. No, like, I'm getting emotional.
no, I was just gonna say, I think it's good that it's happened now in the Asia Cup rather than the World Cup. Now they can learn from this and go from there. And also, Rohit Sharma has interviewed Virat Kohli for this 100. So that's
I can't wait to see that. Yes, that will be fun.
Something good to watch. No matter what Ashish says, for me, Ashish plays like Rohit Sharma, captains like Rohit Sharma, looks like Rohit Sharma, does everything like Rohit Sharma. So
good backup job for Rohit Sharma. Like, जब injured होगा तो ये करते रहना.
Vinay is more like Virat Kohli, and also Virat Kohli
is more like Virat Kohli.
And Vinay, and Virat Kohli has scored 100 on Vinay's anniversary. Happy anniversary to Vinay and his wife. And yeah, I think it's time to go offline. On that note,
everything combined and the Queen died. Bye.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, that is unfortunate as well.
I just Ramsey didn't score, but बाकी सब सही था.
Last comment: Nokia, Rabada, and Gideon Janssen on hard bowling pitches in Australia. Be ready. Yes.
No, Janssen is on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, the quality of bowling is going to be different in the World Cup. You have Australia, England, and everything. These teams will have to be prepared. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you guys for joining me. It was a lot of fun. Thanks everyone in the comments as well. And we'll get you the latest from the finals as well. And yeah, take care, guys, and enjoy that 100. I'm sure everyone will be watching it on replay. So take care and good night.
My boys.